when it crashes and I lose all farm.
Yes. So what should you do? How do you prevent the wave from crashing?
Not die like that, but ping my support to hold it.
Okay. So the moment you die, what should you do?
Ping hold.
Exactly. Like here, the moment you die, you should be like, okay, I died. No, I mean, sure, this is a mistake. I didn't cleanse, blah, blah, blah. But let's see. Let's focus on the present. My wave is pushing into me. So I need to tell them to hold it. Guess what they did here, my man? You're like, they just pushed your wave. Oh, that feels bad. Like you died and you also lost the wave. Of course, you couldn't play this game as an AD carry. Hey, how are you doing? So you play League of Legends, the game that everyone hates and loves at the same time. You might feel frustrated about your teams, or maybe it's your gameplay. Maybe you feel a little bit stuck, or you simply can't carry hard enough. Which is absolutely okay, because I am a League of Legends coach with more than 3,254 people coached. Players that improved really hard from bronze to diamond, platinum to master tier, or they simply got out of low elo, or some of them even got to grandmaster plus. Here is someone that got from gold to master tier with the help of my premium personalized coaching. If you're looking to get a free OPGG review, an analysis of your stats that will help you understand what are your biggest mistakes and problems, and more importantly, how to fix them. I'll tell you if the champions that you play are good for climbing or not. All what you have to do is go on my stream, twitch.tv/izazlol, follow it, and when I'm streaming, ask for some help. It's so simple. Do it right now, it does not cost anything. Follow my stream and find what you're doing wrong instantly. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You really don't want to miss out what I'm going to post here if you actually want to climb and improve hard. See you on the stream. Trying to figure out what my biggest issues in the lane phase are. And you said that they are repeatable. Okay, so trying to figure out what holds you back in the lane phase you want to see, and maybe hopefully. So do you have a goal in terms of the rank as well, or not really?
Not really, just consistent progression. Gold would be like nice, but got a long way to go. So
okay, good. So first of all, we have some big patterns in the lane phase. Let me see what is the biggest one first. Oh yeah, perfect. You said, hey, I want to push the lane phase, I want to get level 2, which is true. Yes. Second, you said that you want to play aggressive because you have a rel, and here I said, hey man, look to go for longsword because, and what was my reason?
we're gonna get poked out by the Ash.
Perfect. Good. So right now, in terms of the summoner spell, why did I tell you to not take Ghost on Kai'Sa?
Because that would be for scaling, and we also want something else in the lane phase. And then you said I should have taken Cleanse because of the Ash R and then the Annie stuns.
Yes. Perfect. So then let's do some little test here. What should you take in... So what summoner spell should you take in this case? No, sorry. It's a bit too hard there. In this case.
Ash, Thresh. That could potentially be Cleanse as well. With
Why?
The Thresh hooks plus the Ash R, and then can't really cleanse the Flay, but the...
True. You can cleanse the hook, but since simply they have Ash ulti that you can dodge, you can cleanse. Let alone that they have also Thresh hook. Let alone the fact that they have to, like, this is like 100% cleanse. Even without Twisted Fate, you get cleanse here. Okay, what about this game? So they have Varus and they have Senna.
Maybe Exhaust?
Do you think you can exhaust Senna or Varus?
I guess not, but I thought if like Thresh goes in and then
Perfect.
I follow with my ult and then
What's the alternative of exhaust in the lane?
heal,
true, because you play against double range and it can work, or cleanse, yeah, because of the Varus ulti. So you see, in this case, you can say, okay, but I'm not sure. How do I decide if I'm not sure? Well, if you're not sure in the laney phase, then it's super simple. You just look in the later stages. Cleanse, heal, exhaust. If there is no summoner spell that you can say, yes, that's the summoner spell, from, like, I look at the lane and I say, okay, that's the summoner spell. If you're like, heal is good, but cleanse is also good, but exhaust is also good, then look in the late. What does the late game tell to you?
I'm guessing exhaust. So that way I can
100%.
get run.
No, there is no like exhaust against Yon, very good. Exhaust against Kane, very good. Against exhaust against Vayne, king. So 100% exhaust in this game. Okay, and the hardest example here. What do you think?
Okay.
What is the best here?
Leaning towards cleanse, but I'm also not thinking because they have. I don't know if cleanse would do me any good because they have probably too much CC.
What
So,
CC they have?
Lux, Jin, Senna, the snowball. I don't think I can cleanse it.
You can't cleanse it.
Up.
Okay, so let's say step by
So
step. So Jin, you mean the double is the CC?
yeah.
Yeah, but is that something?
Less,
Okay,
less
like
viable, I guess.
like when you take cleanse against Ashe, I'm like, okay, it's cleanse against Ashe. Like she ults me, the hitbox is so fat, I can't dodge the arrow. But then the Jin W is like, you know, it's like you're taking a summon spell against Ezreal Q. Like, really, man? Ezreal Q? You can dodge that. Okay, maybe it's gonna be fake and hit it, but you can dodge it. Same thing with the Senna W. Then Lux Q, you can consider going cleanse here, but I don't think the Lux Q in the late game is a good reason. Okay, why did you get cleanse? Well, at 45 minutes in the game, I'm gonna get binded and I'm definitely gonna use the cleanse. Really? So then why don't you just take heal, because it helps you until the 45 minutes mark where you can still position it yourself good against the Lux.
So either heal for survivability.
Yes. Yes. Yes, heal, or even if you really want to cleanse, but never. Well, you can also, some people will say, yeah, but he got ghost because he plays with Yumi and he knows he plays safe, he knows he can't really win the lane, so he just played for the late game. This is the only case where you go ghost on Kai'Sa. And I would say, yeah, true. Actually true. Because usually, yes, you want to just play for lane on Kai'Sa, but with a Yumi. Against Senna, Jhin, you're just gonna go what? Long sword, 3 potions, and scale. I'm pretty sure he didn't go long sword, 3 potions. Let's see. No, I hope I'm wrong.
I'm just spamming.
Okay. No problem. Good. So, no problem. The summon spell, yes. So this is 2% of the problem. You go for an amazing leash, and then you just go for the lane. I didn't like that. I didn't expect that they are right there, and didn't go all the way like this and stay here and farm. No problem, no problem. You're trying to push, so the reason why you're pushing this lane is to get level 2. What happens if you push too fast?
Then the wave's gonna crash at a bad time.
True, and what do I mean by too fast? Like, what does too fast mean?
When we have too big of a minion advantage.
Yes, and how is too big of a minion advantage?
More than like... So like... I'll kill these 3, then we'll have 5 total, but that should be fine. Right?
That should be fine. Yes, that's all. So only this. So what do you do after this? You could
start autoing and yeah.
So what shouldn't you do here?
Just play patiently.
Yeah, don't hit. Don't push too fast. Like, I would do this and I would be like, okay, I'm pushing like a madman because I want to get level 2, and Ashe is hitting the minions and he's hitting at the same time. Well, sure, if she's contesting, go man, go. Push. Yeah. Use even Q. But now they're like, okay, we're playing chill. Okay, but then why hitting the minions if they are not even auto-attacking to contest? So the concept is that you're trying to push the wave, not too fast, but after you get like 2 minions advantage right here in the laney phase, you're trying to stop from pushing unless they're contesting the push and they're trying to get it back. Super important. So here you push too fast, and I wouldn't use the Q now. Like now, I would only use the Q if you need it. But if you think about it, like now, the minions are like this HP. Why Q? Because you don't need. You just kill auto attack, last hit, and chill. You didn't need to Q. Majority of the silver players and gold players do this mistake on Kai'Sa. They just Q the minions like it's nothing. Yeah, but if Ashe has a brain, she's gonna walk up right now on you because she's W, don't have Q, can't trade against her. And what is the most important thing in terms of positioning in the lane, in this lane against an Ashe and then any?
Thought is behind the minions for the W.
True.
And out of Q range from Annie when she has stun, but she doesn't double one.
So look at your mistake right now. What is your positioning mistake right here?
Not behind the minions.
Exactly. boom, and then this W, like Ash should avoid using W on the minions. Do you see that you guys do the same mistake? Like Kai'Sa, you use the Q on the minions and you wasted the pressure because you're on cooldown right now, but the poor guy does the same mistake like you as well. Of course, in this case, it's not that bad for her because actually the minions were 1 HP and she was about to lose everything, so she just W because she had to. You didn't have to, but fundamentally using abilities on the wave early on should be avoidable. And then here, as you can see, your positioning is still not behind the minions. Okay, so we have not staying behind the minions and pushing too hard. Okay, and then we have one of the biggest mistake that you're doing, and this is a pattern. Like right now, for example, did you get the push or do you want to establish it still?
Wait, what, do I want to get the push or have I already
Like, yes, have you already gotten it?
I think so.
Perfect. How do you see it? Like, how do you...
We need 2, 3 melee minions, I think.
So how do you know if you got the push or not?
If we'll hit 2 before them, which is
True.
how many minions we have and how many.
Exactly. So you're looking exactly how many minions you have compared to how many minions they have. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. But we can fundamentally see that there are more blue than red.
Mm-hmm.
So what should we do right now? Option number 1, keep pushing. Option number 2, try to go in or zone them.
I think the minions are a little bit... So, my thought is that the minions are a little bit too close. We're like 2 ahead, but not... Like, they could... If they wanted to burst it down, I guess they could.
The minions?
Yeah, so still push for 2.
So how can they burst the minions as an Ashe?
Okay, I guess not. So, press W on it, and then she has no more spells.
Yeah, plus the W of Ashe, do you know that it does like 68, like 70 damage on the minions? Like the minions have 500 HP, the melees, for example. So they couldn't really contest the push. Like now, Ashe is just chilling. She's not even hitting the minions. You should like walk up right now. You should stop pushing and walk up. So step number 1 in the lane is try to get the push. Try to establish a minion lead. Let's say 6 minions against 4. That's a minion lead. Or 5 minions against 3, which you did here. Once you do it, you go to step number 2, which is try to zone and poke them, which you didn't do. You kept pushing. If you lose the push in the meantime, then you should go back to pushing. But step number 1 is establish the push, which you did. Step number 2 is walk up on them and try to encourage your rel to go in as well. And then we did the worst thing that, let's see. I didn't really see this because the share screen just stopped, I think, in a bit. Okay, I was writing. Again, we're not staying behind the minions. Okay. Let's see what you're gonna do right now. Okay. You try to go for a trade. And then here, let's see. So Rel wants to go in. Right here, this would be a great time to actually go for a word. Before the waves meet, actually, here. Like right now, this would be a perfect time to go for a word. Because the wave is just pushed into the tower and you're not really gonna lose any minions. As you can see, the next wave, you don't even see it. It's full, like the next minion wave is obviously full HP with the minions. But now Rel is trying to go in, so you hover. This is good. Let's see what you're gonna do after. So Rel try to word, you try to push. Very, very good. You respected them very well. Now you pushed it all the way. In this case, you have the 3 options. Option number 1 is go for a word, but you don't have it. You push the wave, so option number 2 is go for a recall, but you only have 500 gold. And you're playing Kai'Sa, so a cheater recall for Khal, like you do if you play Jinx, is not possible here because you play Kai'Sa and you want like a Noon Quiver or like a minimum double longsword back, worst case. So just staying. So staying is good in this specific situation. Then right here you said, fuck man, I don't know where is Lee Sin. I don't know where is Lee Sin. Be careful. I don't know where is Lee Sin. This is one of the biggest mistakes that you're doing. Huge mistake. So let's see what you're gonna do right here. So right now you're like, okay, I don't know where is Lee Sin. I don't know where is Lee Sin. Rel, be careful, man. Be careful. I wanna let the wave to come into me. True. Letting the wave to come into you is gonna be good. 1, if Lee Sin is here, it's good because you're safe. 2, if Rel wants to go in, it's still good because wave is here. We can go in with ease. Perfect. And then here you said, oh shit, sorry. Here you said, fuck man, I don't know where is Lee Sin. I can't follow, man.
He's on the map, but I just wasn't watching.
Yes, but that's not the problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the thing is, if your Rel goes in and he's inside of a fight, you can't just ignore him and be like, oh shit, Lee Sin is here. I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna follow. In League of Legends, there are situations when you're gonna ignore your teammates if you know 100% the fight is doomed. But if your team goes in a fight, like if your Rel goes in a fight in the lane, that you think it's doable, you don't agree with it, but it's doable, you have 2 options. Option number 1, let him die and run pace, which is not recommendable. Or option number 2, have a positioning that if he does something stupid or Lee Sin comes up from here, you still have time to back off. So you have to position yourself here.
Okay.
And if he fights, you stay here, you hit any. The moment you see Lee Sin, you back off. You have time to back off. So we have to adopt a positioning that is going to allow you to follow him, but at the same time not ignore, like at the same time don't die for the gank, because I'm not telling you, okay man, now you go here, you hit. No, not telling you that, because let's say you didn't know where his Lee Sin is. Let's assume that. You want to have a positioning that even if he's coming, you're still safe. But this approach of, shit man, I don't know where is Lee Sin, I'm gonna let him die, it's a bit too much in solo queue. And this is my assumption, is this is why I have super low kill ratio here. Super low, because you're like, oh shit, my team does something weird, I'm just gonna let them. Oh shit, my support does something weird, I'm not gonna get in the fight. But the reality is that many cases they will get into the fight, you can get a kill and run, or you can try to get a kill, but then you can still give yourself time to back off after you get in the fight. So here, instead of having this logic of, hey, I'm gonna back off and I'm gonna let him die, hover him, unless the fight is completely doomed, in which case I recommend you to ignore the fight. So I don't tell you always follow your team or always ignore. If the fight is completely doomed and you 100% you're gonna die, ignore. If the fight is doable and you don't have solid information where is Lee Sin, like here you're like, oh, we don't know where is Lee Sin, he should be bot. You might be right, but you might be wrong. It's good that you're thinking about Lee Sin, but just not hovering is not the play. Like here you should have been right here. Yeah. Behind of the, like with the W. And here you should have hovered. This mistake, look at this. You're like, oh, but I don't want to follow. I ping him. Huge mistake, my man, because this mistake will hold you back from getting kills in the lane. Even if you stay here and you proc the passive and Lee Sin is here and he comes from behind, you have potions and you have heal. I wouldn't say, okay, but you have flash because you don't want to waste flash, but even if he's coming from here, you still have lots of time to back. So in this case, like most of the cases when you know the fight is doable and you don't have solid information that he's bot lane, I would hover. Okay, there was one situation where he did not hover, which is super smart. Let's see if we can find it. I think it's right here. Yes. Majority of the situations you should have hovered. In this specific situation, let's see it. So whenever you have a situation that you know the fight is doable and you can have a significant impact there and you're not gonna instantly get popped, you should follow. But in this situation, for example, here you said, no, I'm gonna ignore my teammates. This was a good call. But why? Why is this different compared to, oh, but really stupid, he shouldn't go in when I don't know where is the jungle? It could be a bad call, but why is this a 10 times more a bad call than that one?
Because if I go in, I 100% die. And,
yes, but what's the reason?
And besides that, the fight's just 100% not winnable.
How do you know that?
They have too much HP. There's 5 of them. There's
yes, number advantage. 5 people versus 2 people. Not gonna win that. And yes, HP is also important. So this fight is completely doomed. In that case, I recommend you ignore your teammates. Don't help them. I agree with you that there are situations where you ignore. Like in this case, you're like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Sure. I'm not gonna go 1v5. Yeah, but in the lane when it's 2v2 and you're not sure about Lee Sin, hover a little bit because you don't know. Try to get a short trade and then get ready to back up, but hover. Because you're gonna have so many situations where you're not. This is a big thing and it can change completely the game. Okay, so this pattern I wanted to talk about. The pattern of hovering and trying to, because if you always play with this playstyle of, okay, but my team shouldn't fight here. Okay, but they are not supposed to fight here. Okay, but I'm not gonna follow. You're gonna lose all of your games in solo queue, or most of your games, because we both know if we play in silver and they will go for 99.9% of the fights that they take are wrong. And what are they gonna do? Adapt, hover, and like be smart, play around them, or discourage them, ping them. But who's gonna follow? Do you think when Rel is gonna use his W in, he's gonna look at your ping? Oh shit! Wait, guys, ping me. I'm gonna listen to this guy. I'm gonna back up. No. I'm going in. I'm not even listening to the ping because I'm gonna engage. Super important. Good. So let's go for the next play. Let's see. Perfect. So we talked about this, and yes, and you see, I didn't even talk about that. The fact that Lee Sin was top lane. because it was a wrong mindset. Even though, yes, you can say, I could have told you, yeah, it was bad my poorness. Yeah, but you could also see that if you review your games. But you can see it's this pattern. It's super important. So, and yeah, of course, the map awareness can be better there. And then he went in. Yeah, I think, yeah, he could have, 100% he could have killed her. And I think you could have killed them both here, actually, if you think about it. With this HP, with both summon spells, if you get in the fight, yeah, it's pretty big, actually. This might have been the biggest thing that we identify. We have something huge in the mid game as well. We're gonna see in a bit.
Okay.
And yes, we talked about the cleanse, no problem. Then you go on this guy. Nice try. And then Lee Sin was here. And then here you're like, shit, man, I don't wanna recall. I mean, yes, I'm very, very low, but look at the wave. It's huge. I agree with you, but if you're like 70 HP or 100 HP or 120 HP and you're easily diveable, I would back off. I would recall, even though you're losing the wave. The fact, like right now, it's like the advantages are like, yes, you're low HP, but she's also low HP. And then you have 2 biscuits, so it can be this HP. So, should we stay here or not stay? Let's see. What is the proper call?
Is it dependent on what my support does? Because if my support backs off, then I just die. But
okay, well, let's say he stays, because if he recalls right now, you're gonna ping. If he recalls and you wanna recall, you recall with him. But if he recalls and you wanna stay, you ping him and he stays with you. So let's assume that he's gonna listen to you. Is it good the call that we stay in this case, considering how big the wave is right now?
Yes and no, because like.
Perfect.
I think it's kind of like coin flipping. Like Lee Sin, if he hits a Q, I'm just dead, and he has plenty of health. He could like get in and take 2 turret shots and be fine.
True.
I'm easily diveable.
True.
So I don't know. Should I coin flip him hitting stuff and stay for the wave, or
if you think the dive is easily doable for them to get you, kill you, and not get anything ever, then you should just recall. If you think you have a good chance to stay, which in the cases with this HP you would have, or this HP you would have, or even this HP you would have, I would stay. I would consider staying because the wave is important and I want to greed. But I don't want to suicide. I want to greed as in, okay, if I have 300 HP, I would stay. They can't dive me with ease. 250 HP, I would greed. But with 100 HP, this is suicide. It's not greed. So in this case, it's a bit more complicated because you have 100 HP, but you have 2 potions. So what you have to do is back off a little bit, wait like 5 seconds for the potions to give you like 200 HP, and then come back in the lane and get like 80 or 75% of the experience of the minions. So you should back off in the first instance, and then because you have 2 potions, you should walk up because you will not be diveable, but you didn't use your potions, unfortunately. Here. Then you get hit by the double. And then the Q as well is pretty unlucky. So this is the concept. If you know you are easily diveable and you're never gonna be able to trade at least one guy, you always recall. If you know you're gonna die, you always recall. If you know there is a good chance that you either get a kill in return, or you have a good chance to actually get the experience of the wave, you should always consider staying. The short answer here is the play was good that you stay, but you didn't use your potions and you tried to play a bit too aggressive. Okay, no, nice. So now you're looking slow push. This is good because you know that even though Ashe just recalled, you can't really push it in time. Well, the thing is, in these cases, if you see Ashe here, what is she gonna do right here?
I assume recall. She's probably sitting on recall.
100%. 100%. She's gonna recall. She's not really gonna stay. That's for sure. She's low mana. Like, you know it. And he is also mid lane, so if you know you're gonna be able to push this wave in time into the tower and crush, you can always push. And I think because this wave is not canon, you should always push this because she just recalled. Like, look at her, you see her, she just recalled. It is true that you never push this if it's the canon wave, because the canon wave you can't push it in time. It is true that if she recalled 15 seconds ago, you don't push because she's already here. Majority of the cases your slow push is good. In this specific case, because you just saw her going to the brush like a second ago, and you know that this is not a canon wave, I would push because you know that you can crush it in time. But you took a decision that is usually good. In fact, majority of the cases your wave management is good. It's just, it feels like you're using the same strategy every single situation and circumstance, and you're not really, okay, I need to adapt. No, I'm gonna use this exact strategy every game, which, you know, Yeah, it's not the right one. But your wave management is not bad.
I try to freeze or slow push most of the time, unless I'm trying to base and then I fast push. But then it's like stuff like this where I just don't think of the nuance to it.
Perfect. So let's see here in regards to wording. So right now you have the wave right here. You're taking the minions right now. Annie is in the mid lane. Let's see. So what is the best timing right now to word if you want to word the Reaver?
If it's not now, once we push the wave up.
But yes.
Okay.
But you think? Sorry, go.
I was gonna say, but I think now because I don't want to. Like, if I push the wave all the way to basically the other side of where it's at right now,
yes,
then I go ward.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've been exposed for quite a while, and again, if the jungler's there, like when I go walk up the ward.
So let's analyze this. So if you're pushing this wave the other side, what is the other side?
I don't know what you call it. Where the rock is, basically where that backcaster minion is right now. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
So are you gonna crash this wave?
As it is right now, no, but after a wave or two.
Let's see. So right now, if you push this hard, are you gonna crash?
No. Oh, if I push this hard right now, I could crash it.
Yeah. You were thinking to slow push in the game?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I see.
Should I crash this?
Well, the thing is, Annie was mid lane, and you have a decent wave. Like you have this wave one and the other way, so you can crash to get plates. The concept is that if you want to go for a ward, you should go before the waves met. Because if you go right now when the minions just met, this is a bad pattern. You see this?
Okay.
You got lucky because Rel actually got the minions, but you see that you're uncomfortable. You're like, okay, I want to go, but I don't want to go. You want to go, but I don't want to go.
Yeah, so that was me trying to get her to proc her support item to get it, and then try to ward.
Yes, but why not just push the wave all the way and then go for a ward? When if you do this and Listen is here, you're dead, and Ashe can also follow. Compared to let's push this wave, I'll stay right here, push the wave. Wave is in the tower. I see Ashe is here, and then I face check all of the brushes when Ashe is unable to follow.
Okay, that makes
you
sense.
See, so this is another pattern that only this thing is probably gonna give you 1.5 deaths ratio per game. This pattern of okay, let me go on the river and ward. Well, you don't need to ward now, because your wave was here. And yes, you can ward, like if you're telling me, okay man, I want to take these 2 minions and I want to go right to ward, but I'm not going to ward too far because the wave is super close to me, I would ward. Sure. Or if this wave is like into the tower and didn't meet, I'll go for a middle river ward. Sure. But now when they just already met, it's like, ugh, it's going to go for a ward now to like lose all of the minions.
So I should push this to crash it since Annie's
yes,
maybe in the river.
Push it to crash it and go for a word after. And the rule of thumb is that you want to go for a word on a timing where you're not gonna lose any minions on, and the waves either are pushed into the tower all the way, or simply the waves didn't met yet, and you want to go for a word and then just look to crash, or just crash first and then go for a word. Either ways, push on the timing that you have and make sure you don't lose the minions.
As far as ward placement, is it better to place it in that brush or where I did kind of like the corner of the dragon?
If your wave is stuck right here, and they didn't met, and let's say you want to go for a word, if the purpose of the word is just to allow you to push this wave, let's say the wave is right here, you just go for a very fast word into the brush, and you just word here, crush the wave as fast as humanly possible, and then you can play from there. The deeper you want to go for a word, well, the bigger the size of the wave that you crush is, the deeper the word can be. For example, if you crush a huge wave into the enemy tower, we can go for a deeper ward on the river. But why is that?
I assume because the AD carry has to take the time to get the farm.
Exactly.
They have to sacrifice it.
So usually this word is fine. But if you crush the wave into the tower all the way, usually this word is really, really good. Of course, if you have like 2 waves or 3 waves and you have nothing to do, you can also go for a bigger word. Like let's say this one is very, very good. This one is a bit overkill, but this one is very, very good because it doesn't force you to do anything. But if you just know this word, you should be more than fine. That's all. Okay. Good. 800, you died here. Let's see why you died. I think it's, yeah, the cleanse. Yeah, he didn't respect the Ashe. Like, wave is coming into you. You shouldn't really look to auto-attack the minions because the wave is coming into you right here. So you're doing this kind of mistakes. But this one, if you take cleanse, it should be fine. We also forgot about the biscuit here. We missed a few clicks. It's more things here. But this is mechanics. Oh, yes. The moment you die here, the moment you die as an AD carry, what is the worst thing that can happen with your wave? Looking at it right now.
When it crashes and I lose all farm.
Yes. So what should you do? How do you prevent the wave from crashing?
Not die like that, but ping my support to hold it.
Okay. So the moment you die, what should you do?
Ping hold.
Exactly. Like here, the moment you die, you should be like, okay, I died. No, I mean, sure, this is the mistake. I didn't cleanse, blah, blah, blah. But let's see. Let's focus on the present. My wave is pushing into me. So I need to tell them to hold it. Guess what they did here, my man? You're like, they just pushed the wave. Oh, that feels bad. Like you died and you also lost the wave. Of course, you couldn't play this game as an AD carry. This is why many AD carries, they can't play from behind. They die one or twice. They're completely useless because one, they don't have good macro to get back in the game. And two, they just don't pay attention to waves. Like now, okay, Wukong is happy, but he's not going to carry. It's Wukong. I mean, he could, but it's better to put the money on you because you know that you can directly influence the game, not like rely on someone to do it. Okay. Good. Okay, and then we have 10-0-0. Let's see what's 10-0-0 here. Okay, here you're just playing safe. You see the... Yes, the same pattern with like, okay, listen is here. You remember it, right? Like here, what should you do right now? Oh, you remember it?
No, this specific one I don't remember.
So look at this. So right now, let me tell you, like, you were scared about the Lee Sin and you didn't really hover your rel.
So should I be standing kind of in the middle so I'm close enough to get the minions and then close enough to turn onto the Ashe?
Yes, you should stay right here. Like right here.
Okay.
And if you go in, you're here, you follow a little bit, you queue, and then if something is happening there, you just back off. If Ashe is getting really low and you can kill her, you kill her. But look at this strategy that you had here. It's like, okay, but you know, I can't follow. Sorry, man. Sorry, Rel. You can just do your thing. Yeah, but you didn't really do anything. Like now, Ashe should be completely chunked. And then here at least you followed, but same thing. You see that you're always late at the party. You're always following late. Yeah. And this can mean like 5-6 auto attacks or like, and 5 auto attacks here. It's like dead. Then this HP, this guy, like it's not. Imagine you had 4 or 5 auto attacks in this fight. It'd be completely easy. This pattern is holding back really hard. Super hard. The pattern of like not following and always willing to like play challenger decision making in low elo, which is not gonna happen. As in, they will always go into weird fights. You have to just adapt. Okay, 14-0-0. So the mistakes with wave management are gonna start from the mid game macro is definitely another problem that we need to talk about. So let's see right here. So 14-0-0. Okay, so now you're playing with Rel. That's fine. He wants to follow. Okay, this fight, it was the first fight that I felt like, okay, man, he was hovering. Look at this. How can you die here? If you just... Look at this. If Ashe wants to ulti, you just hide behind the rail. Like now. How can you die? You're hovering. Okay, you're not following. You're not committing. But you're also not here like last time. So you're like kind of in the middle. You have a good positioning so you can, one, of course, respect Ashe ulti and T-burst in case they want to do that. So you stay behind him. But two, you're not really like so far away. So if Rel does something crazy and they're getting chunked, we're not gonna be able to follow. Like now, this is good. Look at this. Perfect positioning. And you're hovering, you get a bit of damage. And the reason why you lost hard is because 1, we didn't get cleanse. 2, we were so far behind. You're 1-4. This guy is also has 3 deaths. So you play the lane phase so wrong that right now you have no chance. But had you played the lane like this before, then you definitely would have get better outcome. Super important. Okay, good. So we have like other macro things. But wait, you're in a rush? Because I don't want to keep you if you're in a rush.
No, I've got a little time.
Okay. Perfect. So right now, when you go to bot lane and they took the tower, I see that you were slow pushing right here when they got your first tower. Tell me more about the disadvantage of this right here. If you're slow pushing this.
Yeah, because that gives them the priority to roam wherever.
Exactly, and they will have a lot of time to... If you're slow pushing this right now, she's going to get a kill on mid lane, and then she's going to return to bot lane in time because you're slow pushing right here. So the rule of thumb is once you got the first tower on bot lane, majority of the cases, avoid freeze, avoid slow push. Only hard push. Unless you know that you're gonna, like, let's say enemy is right here and you just have to back off, or you can keep the wave here for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. But unless that's the case, I would avoid for as much as possible 1, freezing once I lost my tower on bot lane, or slow pushing like this. Now you're just wasting time. You should already push. If you pushed earlier, what can you do if you pushed earlier? Because you're not gonna hit the tower, that's for sure. But what can you do?
Rotate mid.
Exactly, and look at LeBlanc here, the big shutdown. Look at LeBlanc, Look at LeBlanc. Boop, shut down. Echo got it. Why? I don't want I want you to get it, not Echo. You could get back into the game. Super important. And then you're also gonna see the explanation, because I was also explaining this in the replay. Super important. And then here we died. Super big, like 1-for-1. And then here, let's see. Okay, this is also important. So the next mistake is the second biggest mistake that is holding you back really hard. So let's see. Wukong is pushing your lane. Perfect. Let's see what is going to happen right now. Wave is fully pushed into the tower. Let's see. Okay, 1 second so I can get a good screenshot. So my next question is gonna be 3, 2, 1, go right now. Perfect. Okay, I'm Kaisa. What should I do? Where should I go right now?
So I'm assuming the answer is top, but I thought the fight was probably over.
True.
Before I get there.
True.
Everyone's already collapsing. It seemed like something I need to do. So I was going bot.
True. To get the farm, right?
Yeah.
True. What farm? The one into the tower?
The wave that'll be a little bit further. Not too much further. The one that'll be
right here, right?
Rush. Yeah, there, yeah.
So you're saying that you're going to go here. Who is going to be there? Most likely.
Yeah.
Can you fight her?
No.
So then, if you have the wave right here all the way pushed, or even right here, you know you can make a trip to top lane for like 5 seconds. In case something happens, then you can go back to mid lane. Then you can catch the wave that is coming from mid lane. And then when the wave is going to be right here or right here, then you can return to bot lane. There is a difference if you're going to bot lane when your wave is right here. It's an urgency. Right here, it's a huge urgency. Right here, it's a decent urgency. Right here is like, if the wave is big, I go. If not, I can make a trip mid to catch some farm mid, and then I can move. And if it's anything more than this, like if the wave is here, it can wait.
Yeah. So basically, I have time, so I could at least hover top.
Yes.
See what happens.
Yes, especially because look at this. The fight is, they are going in. It doesn't look like they are just chilling.
Right. If I had run for, I didn't even realize.
Yes.
If I had taken the gate, then I could have been there.
Yes. And we also had Echo and Rel behind. But here you can hover, and look at this. So you hover there. Okay, right now you're there. Let's say you're gonna fight. Let's say you're gonna get an assist. Okay, they die. The moment they die, you should go to mid lane. Like right now, you should get to mid lane. You should push the mid lane, and then here, after you push mid lane, you have 2 options. Go bot lane, because Annie and Ashe are pushing, and you know that after you push mid lane, you can just catch the wave that is right here. Or just fight here if you think that it's a very reliable fight and everyone is already engaged in. So this would be the decision making. Look at this, they are fighting, so you should have stayed there. And then the final decision making would be go there and then push mid lane all the way. And then you can get mid tower. And then yes, you're going to give up 2 waves on bot lane. But it would have been a good decision because you started the decision making when top Cyan was so overextended that you just don't want to just go bot lane because you have your wave right here. So pushed. So this is the biggest, huge pattern that you have. And then here, this also has to do with this. Like now, you are looking to respawn. Where should we go right now? 1 second. Okay, not this. Let's see.
Mid.
Okay,
Yeah.
reason?
So the wave is pushing to us, but it's not like urgent yet.
Yes, but
Zach.
okay. So let's see. Like, what is the biggest urgency right now?
Zach's pushing top, and there's fights going on. Oh, dragons.
Dragon, like they started it. This is the biggest urgency. So if you have decent wave on top lane, but in the middle, okay, he's pushing, but it's in the middle, middle wave, mid and middle wave bot, and you have the Drake. It's an urgency to get the Drake. Of course, if Zach was right here with a huge wave, it was urgent to go top.
Yeah.
But in this specific case, just going for the Drake is better. So here the decision is what? Let's see. Considering that you want to be towards mid lane, you want to be towards the Drake, but you don't want to be bot lane because the wave is just in a neutral spot. Plus Echo is there. Where should you go right now?
Drake to dragon.
Well, yes, you can go to Drake for sure because you can hover them, or you can just go towards mid lane. So then if they fight to the Drake, you can just move there. If they finish the Drake right before you go there, you can adapt either by going to top lane or just by getting to the fight. But you give yourself a way that you can be anywhere by going to mid lane. If you're going to top lane, you're like, fuck you guys, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you see this kind of, it's probably unconscious, but you have like this kind of tendency to like be more about like ignoring your teammates rather than hovering, helping them, being with them.
Yeah, I think it's overcompensating for like one of our first coaching sessions. It was I helped too much.
I see. I see.
Like
I
always
see.
left lane and things
Yeah,
like
I see.
that. And now I feel like I've just boomeranged the other direction.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm afraid to.
This is one step forward, anyways. It's one step forward. This is how we do it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's good. With a live coaching session, we can fix this. So this is usually not hard to fix. Okay, good. So I think we have either like a lot of things still, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays. But I think this is the essence of this session. Maybe next time we can do a live game. It would be helping
Like
you so
piece.
much. Yes. So let's see what we learned from today's coaching session right here. Let's make you a card. So what do you think are the main, most important things that we learned in today's coaching session?
Hovering support if they're looking like they want to go in.
Perfect. So having a playstyle that is about hovering plays that we think are bad but possible instead of ignoring teammates. But again, with a exclamation mark that there are situations where you ignore your teammates, like the fight on the red buff. This was big. This was definitely big. What else?
And then mid game, it's basically the same thing, but it's choosing where I go, so where I can still farm and get gold, but have multiple options where I can hover plays.
But
so I guess
also hover place, exactly. And the mistake was, we are AFK farming when we have to group or farm, and we are not getting into any fights that we should be in. These are like the main things. Yes, we talked about itemization, also a bit about champion pool. In regards to champion pool, I think okay, so let's put 3 champion pool. and then the last one is itemization. So itemization, you have static Shiv, Gwyn Suz, then Nashor, or you have the build that you do right now, Collector, Kraken Slayer into PD. Those two builds. There is also a lethality build, but I can't recommend it because I haven't seen it and I haven't tested it. But these two, I think they're very consistent, especially the first one. Second one, if you're ahead, I think it's also good. If you're ahead and they have tanks, I think going for the Collector Phantom Dancer is a decent synergy from ahead. Okay. Good. The biggest thing is definitely the thing with the playstyle about hovering. The first one and the second one with the mid game is the second thing. We need the minimum 35 more games on AD carry. I think watching the session again is beneficial. First part of the session you can see it. I'll link you online on my Twitch. Then second part of the VOD review, I'm gonna put it on like YouTube unlisted so you can access it whenever you want.
Okay.
And yeah, so definitely these are the problems. In terms of your champion pool, maybe you can try to implement a second champion whenever you don't have an engaged champ, because Kai'Sa is a bit of iffy pick if you don't have an engage. What do you think? Do you think we should pick like one champion or?
So Caitlyn, Jinx, or Xayah? Caitlyn, I've played the most of those three, but which of those three would you recommend?
So Caitlyn is definitely very, very bad in this meta. Super weak. Jinx is definitely playable, but kind of weak still. And then Xayah is super difficult to play with the mechanics. But do you have experience on Xayah?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I like Xayah, but like most of my two most played champions are Ezreal and Kai'Sa.
Ezreal and Kai'Sa. So we can probably just go for the Ezreal Kai'Sa. Like Ezreal, every time when you do have like a very super safe support that doesn't do anything in the lane, and then Kai'Sa anytime when you have either engage in the lane or it's a good setup in the lane like Nico, or really good setup in the late. Like you can have a Yumi bot lane, but if you have mid Lissandra, jungle Sejuani and top cannon, that's fine.
I haven't played them in a while, but I did used to play a lot of Ashe and Jhin.
Ashe and Jhin are very good compared to what champs you told me for a second champ. But for now, you can mainly focus on Kai'Sa and focus on these mistakes, and maybe implementing the second champ in the future can be a goal. Okay, good. So let's go to the questions if there are any women right now.
No immediate questions. We covered basically everything. I guess the only question would be like for next time with the earpiece. So is it where I just stay quiet the whole time and just like listen? Not literally the whole time, but just listen to whatever you're saying and try to. So you now know what I do wrong.
Yes.
And now you can show me what to do right.
Yes.
Is that kind of the idea? Okay.
Show him how to hover fights, when to group, plus where to go in mid game, where to catch waves, when to catch waves, and when our team needs us. This is what we're gonna work on next time. It's a very, very important session. Maybe we can even do the same thing 1 hour and a half or 2 hours, two games. It would be very good. It would be very, very good.
Are there any rules I can implement for what we covered today that I can like practice in ranked games? Like if it's like, you know, don't go to a lane like mid game if it's, you know, on their side or something. Is there anything?
So in the mid game, the rule is if you know you can have a significant impact in the team fight, and the waves that you're about to go on the side lane to catch are not pressuring you in any way, and there is a huge chance that your teammates are gonna fight and they are also relatively close or close, you should always consider grouping. That's the first rule. Second rule is if the waves are pressuring you really hard, your towers, and they are big, you should always look to catch them before you get into the team fight. And the next one is whenever they are making or doing an objective or they are about to fight, you should look to either hover or be around in the cases where you are relatively close to them or you can hover. This can be the rules, but rules in League of Legends are really not good because it's just like if you apply one rule, like there are no like rules that you can apply because it's always based on multiple things, multiple variables. But this would be the rules if I would have to respect.
Okay.
But we're gonna consolidate this on the next one. Don't worry, it's gonna be a lot easier if we just practice them.
Yep, makes sense. Cool.
Perfect. Do you have questions for today?
That's it.
Perfect. That sounds good. What do you think about the coaching for today?
Very good. As always.
Okay. Sounds good. If whenever you're ready for the next one, I'll be here. Whenever it's like this week or this month or next month or the next one is very important because it's alive. So yeah, that is that.
Yeah, I want to get in some more games, practice what we went over, and then probably do another session around this same time.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
A couple weeks or so.
Sounds good. You can just message me whenever you're ready and I'll be here for you.
For those of you who are struggling winning and climbing in solo queue but are serious about getting better, I also do coaching for players that want to improve and get their gameplay to the next level. Coaching can't make you better if you just play normals and ARAMs and don't like playing ranked, or you don't care about improving, you just play for fun, or let's say you just play the game for like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours per week, and that's about it. Coaching doesn't help you. Coaching can help you if you feel hard stuck, if you struggle carrying games, if you want to stop wasting time auto-piloting and not learning anything, if you run into a circle for a long time, if you want to find out the mistakes that hold you back, or simply maybe you have problems with the wave management, maybe you feel lost throughout the mid game, maybe you struggle with the decision making, macro, and you just want to learn how to do it properly from a professional coach. Or let's say you have difficulties checking the enemy jungle and you die a lot to ganks. Or simply maybe you just want to learn how to carry 1 versus 9 so you can actually climb and stop really wasting time. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and book your own coaching now and start improving instantly. I'll see you in the session.